The metallic snap of the deadbolt sliding into place echoed through the house, a sound that felt like finality itself. My hands shook, the keys biting into my palm as I stood in the dim foyer, staring at the door I'd just locked. Outside, Sarah's suitcase sat on the porch, its black fabric glinting under the streetlight like an accusation. I'd thrown it out there 10 minutes ago, along with her favorite coat and the boots she loved most. My chest burned, a sick mix of fury and grief twisting inside me as her words replayed in my head. It's none of your business where I'm going, Tom. None of my business. After 12 years of marriage, 2 kids, and a mortgage we'd barely managed to tame, she'd said it like she was brushing off a stranger. I leaned back against the wall, pressing my forehead to the cool plaster. The house still smelled of her, lavender lotion, and a faint trace of citrus shampoo, lingering like a ghost I couldn't banish. My pulse pounded in my ears, drowning out everything else. I'd changed the locks an hour earlier. The locksmith's been speeding away just as her car pulled up. She'd hammered on the door, her voice sharp with outrage. Tom, open the damn door. What are you doing? I hadn't answered. I couldn't. The weight of what I'd discovered, what I'd suspected but tried so hard to deny, had already split something open inside me. It started 3 months ago. Little things I dismissed too easily. Late-night text she angled away from me, her thumb flicking the screen dark when I leaned close. The long showers, the locked bathroom door, the faint sound of her voice through the wall. I told myself she was stressed, that paralegal hours were brutal, that I was imagining it. Then came the perfume. A new, musky scent I didn't recognize clinging to her blouses. I'd find myself holding them over the laundry basket, breathing it in, trying to believe it was just a new brand, a phase, a nothing. The kids noticed too. Emma, 10, asked why Mommy was always on her phone now. Her brow creased as she hugged her stuffed rabbit. Jake, 6, didn't ask. He just clung to Sarah's legs when she came home late, gripping her like he was afraid she'd disappear. I kept pretending everything was fine, that she was tired, busy, still the woman who'd sobbed in my arms after we lost our first pregnancy, still the one who'd laughed until she snorted when I proposed on that rain-soaked pier. But doubt spreads quietly, and once it roots itself, it devours everything. Last week, I finally broke. She left her laptop open on the kitchen table, a small, careless mistake. I hadn't meant to snoop. I just needed to check a bill. But there it was, a new message lighting up the screen. Miss you already. Same place tomorrow. No name. Just an initial, C. My stomach dropped. My hands shook so badly I could barely move the mouse. I opened the thread. Short messages. Meeting spots. A cafe downtown. A hotel bar near the highway. Nothing explicit, but the intimacy was unmistakable. The easy will figure out kind of comfort that slices deeper than any confession. I didn't confront her that night. The kids were asleep upstairs, their soft breathing echoing through the baby monitor. I sat in the dark, the laptop's glow burning my eyes, replaying every memory we'd built. Had I been too distracted with work? Too tired to notice her fading away from me? The next morning, I played it calm. Big day? I asked, handing her coffee. My tone steady, my chest screaming. Just work, she said, eyes fixed on her phone. I wanted to shout, to demand the truth, but instead I kissed her forehead mechanical and watched her leave. That night, I followed her. The city blurred past in streaks of rain and neon as I trailed her car from 2 blocks back. My grip on the steering wheel was white-knuckled, my pulse hammering. She pulled into a motel parking lot, the kind with flickering lights and peeling paint. A black sedan pulled in beside her. A man stepped out, tall, broad, face hidden beneath a cap. Sarah laughed as she met him, a laugh I didn't recognize. They didn't touch, not at first, but her body leaned toward his, relaxed, familiar. It was a language I no longer understood. I didn't follow them inside. I couldn't. I drove home, tears I hadn't noticed blurring the road ahead. The kids were at my sister's that weekend. Thank God. The house felt like a mausoleum when I stepped inside. I sank onto the couch, staring at the framed photo on the mantel. The 4 of us on the beach, Emma on my shoulders, Sarah's arm around Jake, all of us laughing. I wanted to smash it to pieces, burn the memory. Instead, I called the locksmith. Now, standing in the foyer, the reality of what I'd done pressed hard against my ribs. Outside, her voice had gone quiet. Then came the crunch of gravel as her car rolled away. I slid to the floor, my back against the door that would cold through my shirt. My phone buzzed. Her name lit up the screen. I didn't answer. Then a text. "You're being ridiculous." "Let me in." Ridiculous. The word stung like a slap. I typed out a reply, "Who's C?" but deleted it before sending. What was the point? I already knew. The next morning, the house was too quiet. Emma and Jake were home again, their voices breaking the silence with questions I couldn't bear. "Where's Mommy?" Emma asked, eyes wide. "She's on a work trip." I lied, the words tasting bitter. Jake just stirred his cereal, silent. How do you explain betrayal to a child? How do you tell them their world is cracking? Sarah showed up that afternoon, pale, red-dyed, fragile. I let her in, not because I wanted to, but because the kids were watching. We stood in the kitchen, surrounded by the ghosts of what we'd been. "You changed the locks," she said quietly. "You threw my things out. You said it was none of my business." I shot back, my voice sharper than I meant. "So I made it none of yours." She flinched. Her lips parted, but no words came. For a second, I saw it, guilt flickering across her face. "Tom, she began, then stopped, wringing her hands. I waited, every muscle tight, hoping she'd deny it, beg for forgiveness, give me something to hold on to. But she said nothing. Her silence confessed everything. "Who is he?" I asked finally, my voice cracking. "It's not what you think," she whispered. "It's complicated." I laughed, harsh, hollow. 12 years, Sarah. 2 kids. And now it's complicated. Her eyes met mine, and for a heartbeat, I saw the woman I used to know. Scared, human, broken. "I didn't mean for it to happen," she said, tears streaking her cheeks. "I was lonely, Tom. You were always gone. I just needed someone to see me." I wanted to scream that I'd always seen her, that I'd loved her through every exhaustion, every silence. But the words wouldn't come. I could only picture the motel, her laugh, her leaning in close to someone else. "You could have talked to me," I said finally, voice raw. "You could have tried." She nodded, wiping her eyes. "I know. I'm sorry." Sorry. The word was small. Empty. I wanted to hate her, to make her the villain. But all I felt was grief. Grief for the life we'd built, for the family now hanging by threads. I thought of the kids upstairs, still safe in their illusions. I thought of the locked door, the suitcase, the silence. Maybe I'd gone too far. Maybe I hadn't gone far enough. Stay for the kids. I said at last, the words bitter in my mouth. But not for me. Not anymore. She nodded, her face crumpling, and I saw it then. The truth she hadn't said. He wasn't just an affair. He was someone she loved. Someone she'd chosen. The realization hit like a punch, knocking the air from my lungs. I turned away, staring out the window. Her car sat in the driveway, the suitcase gone. Outside, the world moved on, cars passing, leaves skittering. But inside, everything stood still, a frozen moment before the collapse. I didn't know what came next, forgiveness, divorce, pretending for kids, only to wait her betrayal. Heavy as the bolt, I'd slid into place. And as I stood there, staring into fading light, I heard her footsteps behind me, soft, hesitant, a sound that promised nothing but more pain.